figured it out. Hello, everybody. How are you tonight? It's Gretchen. Sorry about the miscue at starting at 6, but I had set this as a private rather than public. I don't know what I was thinking. I was doing some other stuff, tests, and I forgot to switch it back to public. So it kind of threw me for a loop there for just a second. And so here I am. I rescheduled it, put it all back in. We'll see how this goes. Hi, Tamara. Yay, yeah. I goofed. I had it set to private from when I'd been doing tests. And just, yeah, I'm a little worn out. It's been a long week. A long, long week. Good one. Really good one. Anytime I get to spend time with all 5 grandkids in a 5-day period, it is stellar. But it is also, oh, yeah. So there we go. Yeah. Anyway, I sent it. I was trying to see if I had Linda T's number. Thought I did, but I had her email. But I don't know what happened. Where's her phone number? Anyway, that's okay. We're here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for the art coming in. So this has been this week, Tuesday through Friday. I was in Mesa, Arizona, watching Layla and Lachlan while their parents were out of town on different things, and had a great time with them. Just really fun. Layla taught me to crochet, which is pretty funny. She's amazing. She has figured out how to like make things with no patterns, and she's like making animals and stuff like that. And so we had some fun with that. Buddy was he and I did some art stuff together, which was kind of what's fun. And it just was a good day. And then yesterday was a trip to Eugene, Oregon, which and we had to take the camper van, which is not as fast as the truck. It's an older vehicle, so you stay in the slow lane, but it's also louder. But it's great. So, but it was a 6-hour trip down for a birthday party for Rory, and she turned 4. And so she didn't know we were coming, and it was a surprise, and they loved it. So I got to see McLean, Rook, and Rory running around for her birthday party, and bring her one of the animals that Layla had made, and then some stuff from us and all her little friends. It was so good. And then we drove back. So we left yesterday morning at 8:30 in the morning. Got to the party by 2:30, stayed till 5:30, and then drove home and got home by 11. Yeah, it was a long day. Long day. Yes, Layla is very creative. It's amazing. So while she was teaching me to crochet, she was also doing something. Then she said, I wonder if I do it this way. And next thing you know, she's making a triceratops. And she's like got all the parts, and then she sews them together with a certain kind of stitch with crochet. And I was like, hello. So yeah, we had some good times. I took them to like In-N-Out Burger and pizza, and we went to Michael's and did all kinds of fun stuff like that Grandma can do. But yay. So anyway, for tonight, we have some show and tell, which it is Tamara's show and tell tonight. Yay. This is very cool, Tamara. This piece right here, I'll show it again when there's more, like on Thursday. But this was paper, a wash for the background, and how you built it. I love that you send in the parts from the wash from the background, and then thought you could do surprisingly. You thought you could do collage. Funny girl. And for a change. And then you still have a work in progress because you haven't glued down, and then you showed the other parts to it right here. This is really cool. All the different pieces and parts and how you assemble them. So one of the things that I did, Tamara, and this is kind of an inspiration from between you and watching Diane Anton. Diane Anton, I'm sure you made all these different kinds of shapes for wings, for bodies, for legs, be for beaks, and for like headpieces and stuff like that, and all different kinds of shapes, and put them on a page, and then cut out around them, and then you can piece them together and see which ones go together. And so she had a video on that. So I did some of that while I was down in Phoenix, and played with that. And I now have them in pieces in an envelope ready to go. So my collage is waiting in envelopes to see what I do with that. But it's always when I get stuck, I come back because I have all of these wonderful things that you've sent in a folder, and I can go back and look at all this wonderful art that you've sent. So, yeah. And then this was a treat. This next picture, this is just, oops, something there. This is supposed to go, that's supposed to go off. This piece was done my first year of high school in 73. And this photo was taken 3 years later. See, I graduated from high school in 74. So you're just a little bit younger than me. Yay, contemporaries. Yeah, I like this, that first piece that you did. Wow. Maybe if I'd stuck with it, I might have developed something, but I was doing my photography. I stuck with what I wanted to do. And so going through some photos, I found an art piece that I'd forgotten about. Piece was from 73, taken 3 years later. That's so cool. Yay. Thank you. Okay, so what I have here, I'll show you what I did. All right, so I was playing was it on the airplane? I think on the airplane. I was trying to draw different kinds of owls. I had seen, maybe I was sitting with Bob when I did this one. This might not have been on, yeah. And yes, I was doing photography thing. So I saw some different images of owls, and I was trying to see what they did, and the eyes and different kind of things and expressions. These are the more realistic ones. And then if you take the more realistic and what you do with the eyes and what does it change and how does it make it more cartoony kind of thing. So that was one thing I was playing with owls. Yeah, I got obsessed with owls this week. I don't know why. And then I had this guy, and this was a variation on a Zentangle that you do. It's a kind of thing. And then I did a variation on the head to make the eye part of it. And that was that guy. And I painted him some. And then there was this one. I did this one on the plane. Yeah. So this piece right here, this figure 8, and then there's a Zentangle that ends up looking kind of like a spider when you do it, but more like not an 8-legged spider, like a 16-legged spider. But if I turned it sideways, then I could get this owl, and then I dropped some of the pieces down so it looked like he had a mustache and stuff. So I was playing with that, just kind of, I don't know why owls are in my head these days. And I was doing some more Zentangle, and then Lachlan, we were drawing Pikachu. I don't know why we were drawing Pikachu. Oh, I was drawing their stuffies. And Lachlan and I were trying to figure out to draw things. We were drawing footballs and anything we could draw. He and I could draw together, and what we could do with a football shape and a football cat. And then he had these stuffies that he was bringing out and was drawing. And then, here, I'll show you these other guys too. He and I did a drawing where we were drawing, it's a follow-along drawing on YouTube, drawing Mario. So I had mine and he had his, so we did it side by side and then painted it. It's kind of fun. And some more owls thing here, trying the different eye shapes and different kind of things I could do with them. Then I got done with owls, and then I did this. So I watched this guy, was it, a short on doing figures with watercolor with just a few strokes, simple ones. And so what I was trying to do was, like, this is the one that that he showed that it's like the body, the body, the legs, and then a head, and has a leash and a little dog. And so I was trying to figure out how to do some that were like a grandmother and a grandchild. It was reminding me of going to the store with my grandma. So I was trying different ways of how to do them with just tiny little strokes of, let's see if I can do this here. Have I got any? Yeah, got some paint right here. So you do it and it's like, there's the body. Okay. And I got too much water. Too much water. Try it again. So you do the body like that. And then you maybe do the legs and a head. It's just like that. And then the dog thing is like an M. Can you see it? And then you fill it in on the top and give it a little head and a little tail. And then you can give it an arm and a leash. So, you know, it was just this little figure thing to try to do. So I was trying to add on like a skirt, because my grandma always wore these cool skirts that had patterns on them. And so I was trying to do different ways, and then I was just playing with leftover stuff. I just practicing, you know how it goes, just practicing. Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of a fun way to do it, and I'm trying to get it by just, you know, it's this piece and that, and you actually get a person kind of a bit to it. It just seemed really, it's something that I think maybe I can play with, I can do, and I know the whole premise of it is it not being perfect, and that's makes it really nice for me. And then the shadow bit was kind of a fun thing to do. It was like if they're walking away from you, you can a shadow behind him. So I had all different kinds, heights and stuff. This one, how they're walking together. This one's looks like he's looking down. Anyway, playing with that. That's what I have been playing with. And then there's one other last thing, which I'm still in the middle of starting. So this was, and Tamara, you can tell me what you think of this. So Diane Anton did this thing where she did a whole background kind of colors, and then Drew had an idea of what she wanted to draw on it, and it was birds and stuff. And then going over it, what we're doing is going over the negative space with this Kiritaki white. But my paint seems to be background paint seems to be pretty intense, so I don't think it's working quite, because she was using a water. I'm not sure what I used in this, but I thought I had watercolor. But so then you go over the negative background space with white, and when it dries, it made a really kind of cool aspect. She did a couple of videos doing this. One was a kind of an abstract piece with designs and florals, and the other one was the bird one. So I'm working on this. It's in the ugly stage now. Right now, it's in the really, really ugly stage, which I almost gave up on it, and then I realized, ugly stage, got to do the ugly stage. Hey, Linda, sorry about my screw up. When I scheduled it, I had been testing times, and then I forgot to set it to back to public from private. That's what you get when you've been tired, too tired. So we'll see how that turns out. See, because I got to go over. It looks like I'm going to have to go over it a couple of times with the white to make it really do what it was going to do. Because this Kiritaki white is what she was using, and it is a bit transparent, which is supposed to be. Which, if you watch Nate Bright today, he was doing transparent stuff. And So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. I'll do it at least once over and see how I maybe go over it again. But it's going to be interesting to see. Now it's like it's really ugly. It's really the birds don't stand out. Everything else doesn't stand out. You got this harsh kind of colors and stuff. And so going over this with the white, I'm going to see. We'll see. Playing. I'm playing. And that's what I've done. So, yay. Hey. Yeah, I was sitting here talking and there was nobody on when I first came on at 6 o'clock. And then I thought, what did you do? Did you? Oh, and then I went, oh, you left it at private. Duh. And I couldn't figure out how to just switch it and have it just keep going. I don't know. I was just lame, me. That's okay. I probably could have done that, but I didn't. Anyway, so that's my art. Yay! What I'm doing. Anyway, I'm glad you liked that people piece, Tamara, because this is fun. It's given me some ideas. Anyway, ideas. Get that off to the side and not be distracted and go back to another scene. Hi, everybody. Hi. Oh, I tell you, at that birthday party yesterday, okay, it was so funny. Rory was so excited when she saw us. So was Rook and McLean, but she had all these little friends. They had a face painter there and like 20. There was maybe not 20 kids. There was probably 15 little kids there. Oh my goodness. And all of them, all just crazy, wonderful, wild children. They go to an outdoor preschool. So they go to a forest school. They don't go in a building, no matter what the weather is. There's not a building. There's like a tent, kind of thing that they can go in and sit under. But everything's out in the forest, and that's where it's an outdoor preschool, and she just loves it. She just loves it. It's so much fun for her. It's her little wild life. I love it. So today I have 2 books to share with you, and then another book that is not a picture book, but I just want to tell you about it. And I'll bring that at the end. It's just a really important book, I think. But this first book is called I Am a Masterpiece. And it is by Mia Armstrong. And she describes herself as an actor, artist, and Down syndrome activist. And it's illustrated by Alessandra Thompson. And I just thought it was such a well done book and such just so good, and one of those things that just needs to be talked about and needs to be shown. So here we are with I Am a Masterpiece. Hold it, what's going on? Why is that not very big for you? Oh, there we go. Maybe that's better. There we go. Yay. I had this half and half in case this thing was going to goof on me, but it doesn't seem to be goof. Oh, no, not that. I didn't want to goof that. I want that to be smaller. Everything seems to be going fine with the internet tonight. It just doesn't seem to be, my brain doesn't seem to be online. That's 15 kids are like 100 kids when you're our age. Oh, it was funny because the parents were all like, that were there were so like, because the kids were zooming in and out through me. So I have to tell you, this is funny. Where am I? Back to here. So the kids are literally zooming in and out, running around the house, and around behind me. And I'm just standing there, and the parents are going, "Oh, watch out! Don't run into Rory's grandma." And I'm like, "This is nothing. This is okay." I taught kindergarten first, second, and third, mainly kindergarten first and second grade for the first 17 years, and then I was K-5 librarian. This is nothing. And they go, "Oh, but you must not like the noise." I says, "No, noise is fine." My motto was, if they come home too clean, they must not have had any fun, and they were going to have fun. So this is this is, and Brenda's like, mom doesn't care. It's okay. This is my mom. And at the end, oh gosh, heart throb made my heart just glow. At the end of the party, we're coming toward the end of the party. You know, the thing is these days is that the kids who come to the party get to leave with something. They leave with a party favor. What does Bryn do? She brings out this pile, and then Danny follows her with a box of books. And Bryn says, all right, everybody, come choose a book, any book you want. You can have any one of these to take home. So they're all, I mean, some of them were from Bryn's childhood. And Rory was all of a sudden going, no, not that one. That one's my favorite, a couple of them. But so all the kids at the party got to go home with a book. And some of them were some of the signed ones. She sent home a signed Stephen Kellogg book with somebody, and a lot of them were signed. Bryn was like, one of the parents was like, this is signed to you. And Bryn goes, yeah, my mom, yeah, it's okay. Mom meant all these authors. Mom knew that it's no big deal. Go ahead, have it, take it. Somebody needs to read it. We've read it. I was just funny. Hey, Lupe. How are you? Glad to have you here. Yep, I was late tonight because I went live at 6, but I went live privately. I had forgotten to flip it back from public to from private to public after I'd done my tests. Rookie mistake, but that's okay. Tired grandma mistake. So, just the tired is that I was Tuesday through. I told Tamara this. I was Tuesday through Friday in Mesa with Layla and Lachlan, watching them. Flew home Friday afternoon. Saturday morning, left at 8:30 in the morning, drove to Eugene 6 hours, had a party with 4-year-olds and for 3 hours, and then drove home from Eugene for another 6 hours. So we got home at 11 o'clock last night. We did it. So I'm a little tuckered out today, little tuckered out. So, but I'm going to read this book about I Am a Masterpiece. And it's just